Annyeonghaseyo, all my beautiful people. How are you doing today? Welcome to the alternate point of view. So I just want to say, of course, welcome to my OGs and welcome to all the new people who are subscribing, and remind you again that over 70% of the people who watch this channel are not subscribed. What? And again, I want to say thank you so much for all of the comments that you guys are leaving. I really greatly appreciate it. I love the interaction. It's super cool. And if you are not subscribed, please like, and please share. It really helps the algorithm and it helps me be able to continue making these videos. Today was kind of a slow day in court, but I will recap the Karen Reed stuff at the end of the week because they do half days on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Monday, there was no trial for anyone. Today, Chris Greger did have a meeting in the courtroom. They were already going over jury instructions and things like that, which I think is just kind of, everything's just kind of mumbled and out of order in that trial. It's really weird. So we'll go over more of that later on at the end of the week when they ever get the rest of the witnesses on the stand for that. But today I wanted to talk about some other things that are going on that are a little different, but they are still legal issues. So I wanted to talk about things that will kind of relate to, again, if you didn't know my background, I obviously have a background in criminal justice and forensics and interviews and interrogations, but I also used to be in the acting industry. And not a big deal, not huge, of course. Okay, I was literally like the bottom of the scum of the scum. So it wasn't like I was like in a big field of acting, but I did get to do a couple of cool films and I did get to do some shows. But I stepped away from acting. I have one gig that I am going to do. I'm not really sure when we're going to start filming, but this film means a lot. It's a production that has been in the works for a while, and it's an important production. It is about one of my friends' true life stories, and it is called E40S. If you guys want to look up that website, it is regarding human sex trafficking. So it's a very important film that I am happy to be a part of. So that is why I'm still doing that film. But this is really the main reason that I stepped away from acting altogether, is because, in case you guys haven't noticed, I call it Hollywood, whatever you want to call it. It's just a cesspool of garbage to me. I noticed as I was trying to enter the industry, just because I have always wanted to be an actress. I remember one of my bosses when I was working in loss prevention asked me, if I could have my dream job, what was my dream job? And it was something that I'd always wanted to be. And I said, well, if I could have my dream job, I want to be a famous actress. It's what I always thought I wanted to be, right? And then I got into the industry. And I'm not saying that I ever, was at an awards party or walked a red carpet or anything like that, but I slowly but surely started to see that not only is this a tough industry, for anyone trying to break through, but it's a tough industry for anyone trying to break through. Like, you really can't get in unless you know someone or unless you have a connect. And there is a lot of marketing yourself. There is a lot of money that has to be spent to get into this industry. And there is a lot of, being in the right place at the right time. And and maybe I'm just not that good of an actress. I don't know. So, but it really is about, who you know, what you know, that kind of thing. And it is a lot about training. Like, you do have to train. You do have to do acting classes. I still love acting classes. And, for me, I got to the point where I thought that, if I love the craft, if I love acting, I can still do that. I don't have to be famous to do that. I can do that by doing local theater. I can do that by, taking acting classes. I can do that by creating my own content. I'm not acting. I'm just, still doing something related to the craft. So I just, after watching all the things that are going down in Hollywood, all of the stuff, that's happening with people Harvey Weinstein, Bill Cosby, which was a huge shock to me. And it still took me a really long time to accept that that was happening. And it also made me self-reflect on my outlook on things, because, you know, as God says, you can't have false idols, right? And I see that a lot in the industry, where you idolize people and you put them in a certain box where you think that they are something more than they really are. And honestly, a lot of actors and actresses, if you look at them, you would never look twice at these people if they weren't famous, right? So I started to really look at that. And I did an episode on the Hollywood Ripper. If you haven't seen it, you should go back and look through my episodes and see what I did with the Hollywood Ripper, because it was related to Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson. Because had Ashton Kutcher not lied back in those days, the Hollywood Ripper would not have gone on to kill more people. So, you know, and this is someone, Ashton Kutcher, who was at, you know, kind of getting at the point of his career where he was getting to be a well-known person. And so when you think about it, he put his career before the lives of other people, the potential lives of other people. So, you know, that's really sad. And it's selfish. And he's gone on to have an amazing career. He also founded a foundation for, you know, stopping sex trafficking. And I almost feel like that was, in a way, like him trying to redeem himself. And that's what Hollywood people do. They do a lot of things that they know are wrong to progress their career and get their name in lights. And then they start these foundations, or they start these, you know, things where they can give back so that it can kind of redeem what they did in order to get their name in lights. So I, of course, decided to step away, because I don't want to be that person. Like Harvey Weinstein, okay, is Harvey Weinstein a bad person? Is he a bad man? Is he disgusting? Probably he is. I don't know. I don't know Harvey Weinstein. I know that, you know, Cate Blanchett got up on that stage and she thanked him from the bottom of her heart for her awards. I know that all of these women got up on that stage and they thanked Harvey Weinstein like he was God, okay? And they won awards because of the movies they were in that he produced and that he gave them the opportunity to be in. And then, you know, when he was being accused of all the things he was being accused of, they were the ones that were like, oh, he's a bad man and he's this and he's that. But not a single one of them, you know, have thought about giving back those awards they won because he put them in his films, right? Not a single one of them in the Me Too movement were like, oh my gosh, you know, I did things to get in these films. Now, I don't want to downplay the fact that Cate Blanchett is a very talented actress. I actually think she's an amazing actress. None of these women are bad actresses by any means, and they could have gotten these parts completely on their own. But there are a lot of actresses out there that did things to get in films, or promised things, or made steps to get in films. And I, you know, I find it odd that years later, after you are now in a position where you are an award-winning, wealthy, star-studded actor or actress, that you now feel like you are in a powerful enough position to have a voice to say something. I feel like that doesn't make it okay. You know what I mean? Like, to me, and I'm not trying to downplay anyone's harassment or anyone's anyone's experience that they went through, because obviously it was a terrible experience and it was something that, you know, but you made the choice. You signed the deal with the devil. Okay. I would never sell my soul to the devil to get my name in lights. Sorry, that's me though. But they did, and that's what they chose to do, and now they're famous, and they have to live with that. So to sit there and get up on a stage and thank the very person that you know is a dirty old man or whatever he is, and give him the praise for the award that you won for your work because he put you in that film because of whatever it is you had to do to get in it, is disgusting. And the reason I'm talking about this is because there's so many things going on in Hollywood right now, like P. Diddy. P. Diddy, like, come on. P. Diddy throws all these freak off parties. You mean to tell me that no one knew? You mean to tell me that all these people attended his parties? Usher, poor Justin Bieber. He was just a kid. Justin Bieber is messed up, this kid. There are so many people that are messed up in Hollywood, especially the kids. You look at, the movie about Drake Bell that is talking about the things that were done to these kids on Nickelodeon. You look at the things of how they exploit children. And I'm just saying there are a lot of things that that have happened to children that, and not only, it's not just the producers and the directors and the people that are supposed to be guiding and helping these kids. It's their parents. Like, the parents wanted their kids because, the kids say, I want to be an actress. And of course you want to support your child, but the parents didn't stop it. The parents didn't pay attention because the parents were like, money, 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 my kid's making money. And, Aaron Carter, Nick Carter, all the Carter kids, there's only, I think, 2 of those kids alive today after all they went through to get fame and fortune. And the parents drove that fame and fortune. Britney Spears, she has, that girl's a mental case. Amanda Bynes, that girl, there's something seriously wrong with her. She was so cute and adorable, and now she is messed up. Lindsay Lohan went through the same thing, and some of these people never come back from that. Like, they don't come back from that abuse that they suffered as a child, and they don't have the proper help that they need because their families, the people they trusted the most, put them through it. So, when you have people who you think you trust the most put you through these things, and now these videos are popping up with P. Diddy, Sean Puff Daddy, whatever you want to call him, or he's beating the snot out of Cassie. It just, and he's now putting on an apology video. Come on now, dude, you did this in 2016. So here's my thing. The thing about Hollywood is, everybody's like, oh, P. Diddy's career is over. Like R. Kelly. Okay, R. Kelly's still making money. They're still playing his music. Okay, he's still making money. That dude's career's not over. Michael Vick, he fought dogs and killed dogs on his property, and he came out of jail and got an NFL career. So, no. Hollywood is forgiving. Very, very forgiving. Chris Brown beat the ever-living snot out of Rihanna. And what does she do years later? A duet with him. They're on stage together. He's famous. He's doing just fine. That's the thing about Hollywood. They just forgive and forget. It's just over. That's the kind of thing that makes me insane, is that there is so much talent out there. So much talent. But yet we keep letting these people who are disgusting, despicable people come back into the fold as if there's no other talent out there. Chris Brown should have never been allowed back. Will Smith should have never been allowed back. Jada Pinkett is disgusting. She had an affair with her son's best friend. Their kids are screwed up. And she should never be allowed in the fold. But she's back. She's in the fold. Everyone's in the fold. It just makes no sense. It is glorifying and making these people's behavior okay, when in no other place would this be okay. Which is, again, why I stepped away, because the further and further I got into this industry, the worse and worse I saw it. And the truth is what I saw. I saw how gross and disgusting these people were. And I could see that you do have to sell your soul to the devil if you want to be a part of it. And then I see Kevin Spacey. If you guys have not seen the Kevin Spacey documentary, I will tell you, I saw the documentary, The Spacey Unmasked, okay? And I mean, it's tough to watch, because a lot of the guys they had on there, when you look at things from a perspective of being a survivor, and you watch some of these stories that are being told, most of these stories that are being told are stories. That's exactly what they are, is stories. And a lot of them are a stretch, a very, very big stretch. I mean, most of these are not sexual assaults. These are people that they went all the way back to his high school years to try to find something on him. They're not sexual assault stories. I mean, first of all, you don't save pictures from your the person who assaulted you from high school. If it was a sexual assault, you don't have a photo album that's dedicated to that person and still have it if this person sexually assaulted you. Basically, the high school student that he went to high school with, that he was in drama club with, they're riding down in a car to a party, and this guy's driving the car, and Kevin Spacey supposedly reaches over and grabs the guy's junk. Apparently, this is like they're goofing off. Apparently, guys, I mean, come on. If any of you guys have been in the military in your life, there's so many things you guys do in the military that is so gay and so weird. It just is what you do. It's just what you do. And in high school, I mean, it wasn't a sexual assault. It was just guys being guys. And he was like, "Oh, you can't do anything. You're in the car. Gotcha." And then, he was done. It wasn't like "Oh, we're going to do it. I got to have you." It wasn't anything like that. So, and if it was, why do you have pictures of Kevin Spacey in your house in a photo album that you are readily able to get for this interview? So, a lot of these things, they went through each and every one of these accusers to Kevin Spacey, and Kevin Spacey was like, "Yeah, I mean, that probably happened. We were 17. We were joking around." I mean, I watched Kevin Spacey have to defend every single one of these accusations, and some of them he didn't even defend. He was like, "You know what? Yeah, that probably happened. But did I act inappropriately sometimes? Yes. Did I do this? Yeah. But did I ever block someone from leaving a room? No." And every single one of the stories that these guys told, for the most part, the ones as he was older and pretty famous, all of the guys that talked to him after he was famous, all of them had the same baseline story. And that was, "I thought Kevin was going to be my mentor in the industry and help me with my career." So that tells me that they thought Kevin Spacey was going to help boost their career, help get them somewhere. So yes, of course they're going to meet Kevin Spacey at his hotel room. Now, instead of saying, "Kevin, I'm not gay," they would say, "Kevin, I have a girlfriend and I used to be a Marine." That's not exactly saying, "No, Kevin, I can't," or "No, Kevin, I don't want to do this." It was more like, "No, I can't. I have a girlfriend." Okay, first of all, we as women all know saying, "No, I have a boyfriend," that's not really saying, "No, I got a boyfriend. I really can't do this, but I kind of want to because I mean, I do have a boyfriend, but he's just a boyfriend. So, and I came here of my own free will, and we're still hugging, and I'm not stopping it because you might boost my career somehow. Come on, give me a break. So, this is these guys' way of justifying that they willingly went to his room. He opens the door in a bathrobe. Come on, guys, give me a break. If you saw him in a bathrobe, much like the women with Harvey Weinstein, if they saw the guy in a bathrobe, what else did they expect when they went to his room? Did they think that he was going to, like, I don't know, go out and take you to dinner? What did they expect? He opened the door and he's in a bathrobe. You knew what was going to happen. If you felt uncomfortable standing at the door when he's in a bathrobe, that's when you should have turned around and been like, oh, let me let you get ready. I'll wait for you down in the lobby. So also I believe, like, I'm all about people getting justice as if justice is deserved, because I believe that we should never discredit anyone's, situations, anyone's experiences that have happened to them. Real experiences. Like, if E. Jean Carroll were a real victim of Donald Trump, then of course she should have the right to say that something happened to her. But she's not a victim. She's not a survivor. She's a liar. So I hate when people use the system and they're using the Me Too movement to drag out and drudge up old stuff, because that would be like me going back 30, 40 years. I mean, some of these people went back on Kevin Spacey 40 some plus years. How do you know what you did 40 plus years ago? Not only that, but how fair is that? Like, if you didn't say anything 40 plus years ago, granted, it doesn't minimize your trauma any at all. I'm not saying that, because I have things that have happened to me many, many years ago. But what good does it do for me now to say something now at this point in my life? What good does it do to wait until the person has become famous? Not that any of the people who did anything to me now at this point have become famous, but even if they had, even if they become famous, or even if they're running for office, or even if they're doing any of those things, what good would it do for me now? I mean, it would just be drudging up trauma and pain and hurt and anguish for me. For what? For revenge? To ruin someone's life? To ruin my life? To put myself through all of that? That makes no sense. I wouldn't want to do that. It makes zero sense. Because what can you prove that's 30, 40, 50 years old? And again, not trying to downplay it, but for someone who's a survivor of that, for someone who's been through that, I don't want to put myself through anymore. I'm not trying to say that it didn't happen. It happened, but at what point do you just move on? Just move on. Heal and move on. Because to me, and I'm just saying this as a woman and as someone who's been through these things, why? Why are you bringing up something that A, is very hard to prove, and B, is putting yourself out there for just this right here, criticism? Because it's not going to make you, you'll get your 15 minutes of fame, all right, but you're going to get it for all the wrong reasons. I mean, you're going to get it for, not to say that they're going to victim blame you, but you're going to get it for, like, honestly, the women who did what they did with Harvey Weinstein was to get their name in lights. And now they have their name in lights. And now they're like, oh, I got here because, you made me do this to you. I don't want anyone to know that. I would want people to know that I got where I was because I was talented enough to get there, not because I had to lay on someone's couch. I don't want anyone to know that. I would never want anyone to know that. So I just feel like this is a hot button for me because, you know, after E. Jean Carroll sat there and talked about rape being sensual and fun and all of that, no one talks about rape that way. No one. Only that psycho lady does. And all of the people who go up there and talk smack about Harvey Weinstein, you know what? They all made movies with him, and they all repeatedly made movies with him. And they all repeatedly won awards, and they all repeatedly thanked him from the bottom of their hearts. So I don't want to hear any crap about that because they all loved him. They made tons of money, and they were on the red carpet, and they were wearing the fancy dresses, and they were doing all the fancy fun things and at the great parties. You know, Ashton Kutcher's career went on because he didn't say jack squat about the Hollywood Ripper. And that girl died, Ashley died, and other women died because he put his career before anything else. And Danny Masterson, everyone knew what he was doing, and no one said a word because why? Which is kind of my point about this whole Karen Reed thing, is if people can keep a secret like they do in Hollywood, these people can keep a secret like they are in the Karen Reed trial, because it's crazy. You think the more people involved, somebody's eventually going to talk, and somebody eventually will talk, because look what happened. Eventually somebody talked with Harvey Weinstein. Eventually somebody talked in Diddy's circle. Eventually somebody talked, you know, in Bill Cosby's circle. Somebody's going to talk, because at some point somebody's going to be like, look, it's been this many years. I got nothing to lose now. So, you know, so eventually somebody talked in R. Kelly's circle. Somebody's going to talk. So, but the problem is they don't talk for years later. But what is the point? P. Diddy's been doing this for how long? And now finally somebody's like, oh, we're going to take him down. So, you know, and maybe, you know, good for Cassie for taking him down, and good for her having evidence and having proof. That's the kind of stuff you want to see, is actual proof, actual evidence to back it up, not just accusations, not just, you know, somebody saying he did this or he did that. Actual proof. With Kevin Spacey, there was no proof. Absolutely zero, zip, zilch. He was found innocent in the UK and the US. Kevin Spacey, you know, I will say this. His brother is super gay. Apparently Kevin Spacey is gay. They came from a very horrific home. Their father was a Nazi. Their father repeatedly raped them, which explains the gayness. So I think that Kevin Spacey didn't come out as gay for whatever reason. I guess back in those days they say that it was hard to be gay, but I mean, Rupert Everett was gay. RuPaul was gay. There's a lot of people who were gay. But Kevin Spacey was at the top of his career and he wasn't going to come out. So whatever. But he didn't. So he, you know, it's funny that no one said anything because he was doing this all the time. And he, you know, like he said in one of his interviews, look, there's no playbook. There's no way to be gay, or, you know, you just kind of make a pass and they accept it or they don't. And if they don't, you move on. And if they do, you're like, okay. So, you know, so that's what he did. He'd make passes at people. He was clumsy about it. And if he, you know, they accepted it, then he'd be like, okay, you're down. Okay. So it's kind of the same thing as if a guy makes a pass at a woman. Like, hey, you know, there's stupid little lines they say, you know, are you from heaven? Because they must be missing an angel. I don't know. Whatever they do, I don't know. But my point is that I'm not defending, you know, sexual harassment. I'm not defending any of that. But I think the Me Too movement is a joke. It's kind of like what I think about BLM and all these other things, organizations. I think they're all jokes because I think it is a way to get your money, and I think it's a way to get your attention. Look over here, not over here, because we want to get you over here and get your money over here, and stop looking at this other stuff like, oh, how about the price of gas is nearly $4 a gallon. I mean, I was in Arizona and gas was over $4 a gallon. Oh, never mind that eggs are $7 instead of the 89 cents they used to be. I mean, holy crap, I was in Arizona. Eggs were literally $7. What the crap? For a dozen eggs, $7? Are you kidding me? So, I mean, we're playing this game of, don't look at this, look at this, and this whole pronoun stuff. Like, I don't understand what's going on, but people are trying to distract you. Like J-Lo and Ben Affleck are splitting up, or are they? I don't care. I don't care. Like, so there's so many things going on in the world that we are not paying attention to. Like, there are children who need homes. There are homeless people who need to be taken care of. There are veterans that are not being taken care of. I work with the elderly. Our elderly people are being robbed blind to stay in places that are astronomically charged. My old people live in an independent living place, and they're paying $5,000-$6,000 a month to live there. What? It's an apartment, you guys. They live in an apartment, and it's not care. They don't get care because it's independent living. It's basically an apartment for 55 and up people, and they get paid, and they have to pay, upwards of $6,000 a month to live there. I mean, these are people who have worked their whole lives. They gave up their homes. They gave up their ranches, their land, their everything. And they're paying so much money. Why is that fair? Explain to me why that's fair. So I'm trying to understand that. I'm trying to understand, how is it that you work your whole life and it's all to give it back to some greedy corporation that is like, well, we have this lovely dining room and we provide your meals. Okay, is that worth $4,000 or $5,000 a month? I'm just curious, because we do nothing for Americans. We don't help our Americans. We don't help our people here, and yet they're trying to distract you with all of this other fluff. So, I'm really interested in what you guys think about what's going on with all of these crazy cases that I could care less about. Like, I didn't cover the Young Thug trial. I can't believe that trial's still going on. Holy crap, I think it's been like 6 months. And it's a RICO trial. So I just think it's crazy that it's been going on so long. Also, I want to bring up courtroom etiquette, you guys. So I've noticed that, so in the cases with Karen Reed and in the cases with Christopher Gregory, everyone comes to court. They're dressed, nicely for the most part. I have watched a few trials where I've seen people come in like sweatpants, t-shirts, ragged jeans, looking like they just rolled out of the bed, like they're going to a college class or high school. I don't know what happened to courtroom etiquette. I don't know what happened to how people speak in court. I don't understand how things have gotten so lackadaisy, and the disrespect that I see that some people do in court. It's really, really, really sad. And also, I've noticed some courts have taken away the "so help you God," "so help me God," when they swear people in. So I think it's a turning point. Things are changing. Times are changing. So, yeah. So I want to hear what everybody thinks. What do you think? Is this progress? Is this stepping back? Is this good change, bad change? I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything, everything, actually. This is a little different from my usual crime talking points, but because we're in a little bit of a lag, and I'm not talking about the Daybell case because I want to do a tribute to Tylee and JJ rather than talk about or waste any time talking about the two garbage people that took them from this planet. So I'm trying to piece together something for them, for Tylee and JJ. Also, once the once the Gregor trial, I always want to call him McGregor because his last name is weird, just Gregor. So I want to continuously get justice for Corey. I hope that they get justice for Corey. I hope that this crazy trial that has been so lagging and having too many downtimes, I'm just telling you, you guys, you can be honest. I don't feel like if you had this much downtime in a trial that you wouldn't be looking for stuff or you wouldn't see it. I mean, my gosh, it's on the news. It's on their local news. It's got to be. And someone did ask a question, did I think that they were doing this in the father's jurisdiction? I don't believe so. I think it's in the jurisdiction of where Christopher was living at the time, not the father's. The parents lived farther away, remember? But he was a state trooper, so he probably does know a lot of people. But I don't think that gives him much of an advantage. What my problem is with this trial is I think that too many people know about it up there. And I think because it's on YouTube, it's on the news, it's on everywhere, and the jury has so many long days of breaks that it's going to, they obviously have to have information about it. And, you know, they have these long weekends and then next weekend's a holiday. So it's just going to carry over. They're already going over jury instruction. They're already trying to block what they want Dr. Botnick to say because obviously he didn't die of pneumonia or sepsis. And I think that's what Dr. Botnick's going to go with, is that. And I don't know how Dr. Botnick is going to come up with that information, seeing as how he didn't do the autopsy. And again, like I said, I highly respect Dr. Botnick. I believe he is world renowned. So I'm trying to figure out how he's going to come up with this whole pneumonia thing when Corey was literally just at the hospital that morning and they didn't see any signs of pneumonia, and all his vitals and blood work and everything came back perfectly. So where do you come up with that? So yeah, let's just see what happens. But yeah, I'm interested in knowing what you guys think about this whole Hollyweird stuff. I would be willing to do some work on some Christian films, but I would have to find out, like, you know, where that money is actually going, if it really is going to Christian media, Christian films, because I want to make sure that it's legit. But again, I do have that one film that I am working on. We're hoping to make it a series, but it is called E40S. And the reason it's called E40S is because every 40 seconds, a child is taken for human trafficking. So probably something you didn't realize is happening. And if you guys aren't watching your kids on social media, if you're not watching them when they play Fortnite is a huge game right now. I just learned this from my friend as I watched one of her interviews. If you don't have the location services off on your Fortnite, on your video games that your kids are playing, you think it's all innocent because they're in another room playing Fortnite, but your location services are on. There are also chat rooms on those games that people are interjecting because they're playing people from all over the world. And you never know who your kids are talking to on those games. So, you never know. You never know. And I watch enough crime stuff to know that, you know, kids figure out a way to meet up with these people that they're talking to on these games. So you just never, ever know. So just be really careful. I think a lot of it starts at home. So I would watch out. But let me know what you think about P. Diddy. Somebody said earlier that P. Diddy would probably kill himself over this whole Cassie thing. I would never want to advocate for someone to kill themselves. I think it's really awful because, you know, obviously that person doesn't have a chance to redeem themselves before God. So even if P. Diddy is not the best person in the world, not a good person, I think he still deserves the right to go before God and get judgment. So I would say, you know, pray for this situation, pray that, everybody has the right to have their time before God. And even the worst person does, you guys, even the worst person, because, you know what they say about throwing stones. So one without sin, those without sin, none of us are without sin. And even the smallest sin is a sin. So no one's perfect. So I just want to say, again, thank you all so much for watching this channel. I know this is a little bit of a confusing rant, but I just wanted to point out some things that I've noticed that are going on. I don't think that anyone is good necessarily in Hollywood. I'd like to think Keanu is good. And the only good thing in Hollywood, if anything ever negative came out about Keanu, I think I would probably lose my mind. But I've been praying about it because God says not to have false idols. And I'm not saying that Keanu's a false idol for me. I just admire him very, very greatly. And yeah, it would be very disappointing for me if anything negative came out about Keanu Reeves. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and pray that Keanu is still as good as I think he is. And let's pray he finds Jesus, because I heard he's an atheist. So we'll pray for his soul. Yeah, so thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate it. I just wanted to put in a video just because there's not a whole lot going on out there. Tell me something that you want me to cover. If you want me to cover any trial, any cold case, anything, there's so many out there. I am going to cover something that happened in Korea years ago. I'm going to put another video up regarding a disaster that happened there. So let me know if there's anything that you guys want me to cover, anything particular. Let me know, put it in the comments. I want to hear it. I want to talk about it. So let me know. And again, I thank you so much. And your Korean facts of the days that I have missed are, so in Korea, I have watched a video the other day. So apparently Christianity used to be big in Korea, but actually it is not anymore. Koreans have been burned so badly by Christianity and cults that now the majority of Koreans just don't believe in anything. So Christianity is not a big religion there. It used to be Catholic, used to be Christianity. Obviously before that it was Buddhism and Confucianism, but now it's really nothing. So Christianity is not a big religion in Seoul, Korea, or South Korea. And also, when babies are born, they celebrate their 100th day on earth, and they dress them in these beautiful hanboks, and they celebrate their 100th day. And also in South Korea, you have a way of accepting a gift. So if someone gives you a gift in Korea, you accept it with both hands, and you don't open the gift until you are out of sight of the giver, because it is considered rude to open the gift in front of the giver. And also compliments in South Korea. If someone gives you a compliment, you automatically say, "Oh, 안녕. You automatically are just like, no. You are. Because it's considered rude to accept a compliment right away. And then, you basically just kind of redirect that compliment in another way. And, basically, oh, you're so kind. Your dress is beautiful, or whatever you can say to kind of redirect that compliment. Also, when you hand someone something, you never hand it with an open hand. You never hand it with You never one-handed hand something. You always hand it with your arm on one hand, and you do it so that you're sure not to be rude. You have one hand under the other, and you hand it to them in a way that is respectful. And when you pour someone a drink, it's the same way. You have your hand under your arm, and you pour their drink. And you make sure that they drink first, because it's respect. So yeah, a lot of cool things to me, because I think we're missing that here in America, is respect. We don't have that. They still bow to each other. I think it's very, very cool. We don't do that here. We don't even shake hands here anymore. I mean, my gosh, our kids are going from saying, they don't even say yes ma'am and no ma'am anymore. They say yeah, what, huh, ma, yo ma, bruh. I mean, we don't even get that, but the people in South Korea still bow to their elders. They bow to each other. And also in Korea, even if you are a year older, you are an elder. And brothers and sisters who are a year older even are considered the oldest, and they are shown with more respect than the younger. So cool things, and a lot of it is respect things, and they are very serious about it. So that's what is cool about South Korea. I really like those things. I think that we are missing that in America. So yeah, other than the fact that they don't hold the door open for you, slam that thing right in your face. So yeah, if you have any questions, anything you want to talk about, please let me know. Thank you so much. 감사합니다. I appreciate you all, and I will see you in the next video.